As we avoid the heat and stay inside, many will be curing boredom on social media. And today, with your mental health in mind, we're talking about how cutting back on social media can help your mind. Joining our conversation this morning is 9 News wellness expert and psychotherapist Heather Hans. Good morning.
Good morning, Corey. Nice to start the week with you.
This is such a great topic. So research has shown the negative effects social media can have. Why do people overuse social media even though it's harmful?
Yeah, I think that's a question we're all asking ourselves because we do know how harmful it is, but very little research has been done on effective ways to cut back on it. The process of self-control when it comes to social media has been found to be very complex, and it depends on a lot of different factors. But we do know that better health habits lead to better self-control. And there's research now coming out showing that taking a week-long social media break could become an effective mental health intervention.
I know it can be so addictive to just sit there and scroll endlessly. Talk about some ways we can limit the time that we spend on social media.
Sure. I think the biggest thing is to strengthen your relationships, hobbies, and goals, because there's just a big world out there away from the screen. And researchers are finding that people are spending up to 9 hours a week on social media, sacrificing their time. And one of the best ways to replace a habit is to stop a habit is to replace it with something better. So instead of liking a post, give an actual friend a call and get out there and do things that you enjoy, because when you're engaged in an activity, you don't need feedback from social media because the activity itself provides the feedback. And then another thing to do is make sure that what you're following is helpful and not harmful. It's good to just scrutinize the accounts that you follow and make sure that they're inspirational or supporting you to reach your goals, because all of this goes into our minds and into our subconscious. It's fine to relax to pure entertainment sometimes, but just make sure that it's actually helping you feel better. Apps that make money off of addiction or exploitation, which is most of them, have been found to increase sadness. So people can find a list of the most harmful apps on the web. And then one last tip is to delete some of the apps on your phone. You can still check a lot of the accounts through an internet browser, but you won't do it as often if you delete the apps. And the research has found that the more social media platforms you're on, the higher your anxiety, and heavier users have worse mental health because of all these reasons of sacrificing your time. It makes people more aware of other people's stress, and it blocks the sleep hormone melatonin. So again, so many ways that it's causing harm.
Yeah, and you're just constantly comparing yourself to these, and they're not even like real profiles. Everyone making life look perfect, and that's not life, and we all know that. So what should people know if they are having a really hard time cutting back?
Yeah, well, I'm glad you asked, because people will have a hard time because of that addictive quality. So it's all about baby steps, decreasing gradually. And just the act of self-monitoring has been found to reduce the negative impact of self-control. And also supportive self-talk can help people strengthen their self-control as well.
That is such a great tip. I try to, I think every Sunday my phone gives me a indicator how much time I've spent on social media. And so my weekly goal is just doing a little bit less than the week before.
That's excellent. Good for you. I'm following your footsteps there.
These are such great tips, Heather, because social media can be so all-consuming for sure. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy Monday.
Thank you. Happy Monday to you.